Hey everyone, I'm Carolina Romer and welcome to my channel. I hope everybody out there is having a great start to the 2024 year. We have a great video ready for today and we have some great finds and one that just gets away from us, but it pays off to stick around. So in today's segment, we get out and roam the wilds of some local thrift stores to look for treasures to flip for a profit on eBay. So let's get out there and roam the wilds. Here we go, opening time at my favorite local thrift store. These two track stars are ready to get in and find some great deals for the day. Let's get started. So starting off in board games, I'm really not seeing anything that great, but I do see this Catan board game, and I have sold them in the past. They have a great sell-through rate. If you can get them under $5 and complete, it's just a great pickup. I highly suggest picking these up if you can find them. Heading over to the jackets, I see the canvas material sticking out a mile away. So yes, it ends up being a vintage Carhartt jacket. This is the field jacket. It was a size medium. It looked great. No holes, no stains. Anytime you find Carhartt and it's under the year 2018 and it's pre-owned, it's a really great pickup with a high sell-through rate. And this one was actually union made, which increased the value, plus blanket lined. As you can see, the interior there has like a blanket lining material. Always a great pickup if you see these. No stains, no holes looking throughout the jacket. Moving on, I find these Beatles posters. These happen to be vintage Beatles posters. Some were year 87 and some were 96. Whoa, going in for the grab there. No, but some of these had a lot of damage. As you can see right there, a mouse had got a hold to it, which really blows. But some of them also had water damage. But there was a couple good ones I did pick up, and these were $8 a piece. As you can see, they were also all new, steel sealed, which I will probably end up putting these together in a lot and probably put them on auction to see what they go for. I did keep the blue Sgt. Pepper's poster as one of the three. Looking back at the damage on the black poster here, and it's just bad. This one had water damage. It was from 1996. And I ended up keeping this 1996 Let It Be poster. Again, all these were sealed. I think this one had a little puncture hole on the seal. Just need to be wiped down. All in great condition for their years. I did also get this Beatles Mad Day in the Hollyhocks poster. These were three I will put together and again put on an auction. Just curious to see where they go to. And I did pay $8 a piece. Now shipping will be a little rough, but I'm expecting to pay around maybe $40 to $50 for shipping depending on where they go to. You always want to keep your eyes peeled for vintage music and movie posters. Some can go for high dollar. Now moving on through the furniture, I see this little tin toy sitting on the edge of this dresser here. Man, was this a surprise. They had it marked at 75, but I was able to talk them down to 55. And boy, was I glad that I paid up for this find. Was it a surprise. We put it on auction and it went for $460. 55 into 460 is a pretty good, decent little profit there.
Doc, you don't just walk into a store and buy plutonium.
Like Marty said, this is not something you'll find just every day sitting in your thrift store. But just anytime you find these vintage wind-up tin toys, always check on them. Look up and see what they're going for. Moving over to electronics, which is a little weak, I end up seeing this Onkyo 4K receiver. It was $35. It was tested. It came with the remote. So for a flip of $35 to $239, another great find. It was in great condition. And I did get home and retest this item. Everything worked as should. Be careful when picking up electronics like this, because you never know. There's a reason they're in the thrift store. Now I find these vintage mid-century modern green milk glass Santa Barbara creamer holders, but they just had them way too high. $10 a piece, matching salt and pepper shakers, $10. I just had to pass. Not a really great pickup there, so had to move on. I actually hear my buddy calling my name to come check out something he actually found that I missed out on. So I start heading over there. And man, was I in for a surprise. I really missed out on this one right here.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
That's right, a Wii U console, Game Boy Color, 2 Game Boy Advances, and some Game Boy games. Wow, he paid about $70 for all this. This is a great buddy of mine. He's a reseller. Check out his store, Moby Picks. All around, just great variety of stuff he sells in his store. Check him out. While I was just browsing, I was passing the watch dish, and I happened just to dig through it, and I found a good little find in here. I ended up finding this gold and silver tone watch. It ends up being a Tissot Blade watch. Now, sorry for the focus here. It's a little blurry. I paid $3 for the watch, so I might list it around $85 to $90 for a quick sale. I did check everything to make sure it was authentic. Now, be careful buying high-end watches because there's a lot of fakes out there. As always, remember to like and subscribe for more content like this. And also, this helps push the channel if you subscribe to get other viewers to be able to view this, to be able to find deals to flip for a profit on eBay. Now, moving on to books, I see these Stephen King books. I end up picking them up. They looked like some of his later book releases. Looking through, I check. It actually happens to be a first edition, second printing. Anytime you can find a first edition, first printing, and a popular author, always pick them up. They hold more value. I ended up checking this one also, and it was the same first edition, second printing. Now, I'm paying $1 for hardbacks, but I find out this is part of a Bill Hodges trilogy. So later on, I do find the third book you'll see here in a minute. Now, if these were some of his older books, like Christine, It, Misery, and they were first edition, first printings, you're talking about some big money, into the hundreds, depending on condition. Now, here is that third book I find for a complete trilogy set. Now, I'm really glad I stuck around in a thrift store, because behind me I see more electronics being pushed out. So I happened to get up and walk over to check out what I find. Now, missing that video game score later on, well, boy, was I in for a surprise. I see this plastic crate listed for about $50. So I pick it up. Was it a treasure chest just filled with all kinds of goodies? As you can see, Donkey Kong for the 3DS right there on top. Wasn't complete though, it was missing the manual, but game was in there. I ended up moving this game case, and boy, was there a bunch of handheld consoles. This Game Boy Advance Silver, a Nintendo DS, all kinds of goodies, a Mario Edition 2DS, and a PSP, which I'll end up selling for parts. It was missing the joystick and the battery was completely fried, but the screen was good. Now, there was no cords with these, which is not a big deal. It does decrease the value a little bit because I'll lose a little bit of money having to buy power cords off of eBay to make these complete and power up. Now, there was a variety of games in this bin from a spread out of all systems. Like, here's a vintage Game Boy game, and there wasn't even a vintage Game Boy in the case. A loose Star Fox DS game, a Game Boy Advance game, cartridge holders, stylus pins. Now, a lot of the games in the cases ended up being children's games. Nothing that great. But what I can do is I'll lot these up with the DS system to increase the value a little bit and to actually get it to sell a little bit quicker. Now, it really paid off to stick around the thrift store for a little bit, especially after missing that other video game haul that my buddy got. So this was a great find to just stick around and see them putting out more electronic items. Now, this next item, I forgot to get footage of in the store, but it's a brass alligator nutcracker. I paid $2 for it, and I should get around $25 for it, free shipping. And it should go first class mail, so about $3 to $4 shipping for that item. Now, heading into a Goodwill located in Greer, South Carolina. My Goodwills are really great on prices, but they just don't have really great items. They take the great items and send them off to sell on like Goodwill Finds auction site, which really hurts. You know, you can't go in the stores anymore and find great product. I do find these Nike Flyby Mid 2s. They were in really great condition, a little bit of cleaning. I paid $4.99 for them. I should have get around $45 with them with free shipping. Moving on towards the glassware, I see this vintage Pyrex dish with lid. I usually don't buy just a single Pyrex dish, but for $1.99, it wasn't a bad deal. Now, with vintage Pyrex, if you take a look at the bottom and all the letters of the Pyrex name are in capital letters, that means it is a vintage piece of Pyrex. And the paint job was great on this one. Now going over, I see this Clemson Trevis cup. This is a local university of ours. But it was just really beat up for 99 cents. But on the corner of my eye, I do catch this Starbucks mug, this Periwinkle drip. And I paid 99 cents for it. So a great little flip there for $25. Moving on near toys, I catch eye these board games right here. Clue Harry Potter was not complete, so I do pass over it. But I do see this Destiny's game. It's basically brand new. I did open it up to see if it was complete or not. But I paid $2 for this board game. And I open it up and it is in great condition. All the pieces there. Looks new. But unfortunately, I will have to list one as pre-owned. Then I end up grabbing this Monopoly Big Bang Theory. This was actually new. It's just missing the seal, so it's going to be a new open box item. As you can see there, the money and the cards and everything was still sealed up in its original packing. So I do get these two board games. $2 a piece for these board games. And I do see these Exit series board games, but they had $6 a piece, and they were only going for about $18 for each one. So I ended up passing on those and the Harry Potter Clue. Moving on, I end up finding this Disney Cruise Line cup, Avengers, and it lights up. I highly suggest keeping your eyes open for Disney Cruise Line cups. They sell really great, and they are hard to find. Now onto a different thrift store. I only find one item in this thrift store, but it was a good little find. It was vintage Halloween. Always pick up vintage Halloween. Look it up. It can go for great money. Vintage Halloween sells all year long. But it was a Holland planter. And for 75 cents into 45, this was a really great find. It was from 1987. And it was in really great condition. Now moving on to our last thrift store for today. I'm checking out the shirts. And I catch eyes on this Augusta Nationals Masters Amon's Corner polo. I always pick up Masters shirts if they're in great condition. I only paid $4.99 for this shirt. So I can get around $32 free shipping with this shirt. Now moving on to the last item for this segment. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to subscribe and like. It helps push this channel out there to other resellers and other people looking to get knowledge on product to flip for a profit. So like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Now I find these vintage Libby 1960s Zenith lowball glasses. They were $1.50 a piece. I might have should have passed on these because there was no low balls listed, but the high ball listed, there was only 2. And with the prices like that, I couldn't kind of pass on. It was worth trying to take a chance on. You know, these vintage 60s, 70s logo cups can go good. I hope you enjoyed today's segment. And remember, get out there and roam the wilds.